the government hall which is cheaper, and the private hall side, and we make a guy stand there, and the day of the performance, if it's cancelled, the guy says it's still happening there. So government of India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, they deeply love me. I reciprocate their love by making it a little more complicated. It's tough love.
But how many so-called brothers in this area do you have? Like brothers who think the same way, as your group, as you yourself?
Over 5 nations, about not huge, but 20 such groups.
All right.
In 5 countries, 20 such groups, which if we book a government auditorium, we are super confident we'll be rejected. But done in a very nice way. You're never told no. You're told, can you submit your script? Which they know that we won't. Then they say, no, don't submit the script, but submit the synopsis and roughly the names that you're taking in the play. Which they know that we will not. Then they say, we're not cancelling your booking. There's a small line that if government needs the auditorium, it can cancel your play last moment and give you another date. Invariably, if government doesn't even need the auditorium, it gets cancelled. But it doesn't. It used to happen to me 50 times in last 10 years. In last 3 years, it's happened about 12 times. So my democracy is getting mature. They're allowing us to shout, as long as less people are hearing the shout. But it's still a lot more freedom of speech than maybe China or Singapore. If I were taking names in China or Singapore, I would be in jail. If I'm taking names in India, I would be in jail, but those who want me to be released from the jail will be doing a play outside. So there's a strong chance between a play happening in the jail inside and outside the jail there's a play. So in any case, we're doing theatre.
You consider this performance, for instance, what we saw tonight, in political terms, radical, extremely radical.
Yeah. Because in India, I would take more names.
You would put more names inside.
Make it more local. Take names.
But what's the reason? Why aren't you in jail? If I'm,
I think that's where my journalism saves me. Somewhere down the line, they respect my journalistic visiting card more than they disrespect my theatre shout. So it's like, it's bad for a democracy to put a journalist in jail.
Okay.
So they let the journalist go out and say, okay, he's a journalist and a theatre guy who's shouting too much. That's healthy for democracy. So that identity card saves me.
So being a journalist helps you a lot making theatre.
Yeah. In my case, yes.
Okay.
But much more than the jail part of it. It gives me text to say. What you can't write in the paper is what you say on stage. Provided you're not sacked. Even if you are. Maybe some other paper picks you up. But most of our plays are on, transformed spaces. So this kind of road, the way you're sitting. We do a play where, after tsunami happened across Indonesia, Thailand, huge portions of India, and devastatingly in Sri Lanka, we did a very interesting experiment. We used to take the shoes of the audience. 6 of us used to collect shoes and then make the shoe heap. And we used to take yellow post-it notes which we had stuck on the gate today and write small histories of tsunami survivors inside these shoes. And one of the most classic photographs after any genocide, riot, killing, bombing are these lonely shoes. And from those shoes, we used to get a lot of energy to tell the stories because they say so many things. That's a more casual shoe. This is a more army type. That's a more floater. This could be a little more comfortable. Somebody's bare feet. If it's a farmer, impoverished farmer in India who earns very less, his shoe is a little weary because he can't afford one for next 5-6 months. So a lot of our images come from what you wear, what you carry with you, what's written in his t-shirt, almost like he's singing jazz. You're just picking up things as to what you have. So in a way, it's not improv, because we have a story to tell. But in a way, it's a structured improv. Because improv would mean I just improvise the shoe. Here the shoe to me is a person. So I would say it's a little more spiritual improv. I need to connect to the shoe to perform, or these trampoline, or these sheets you're sitting. This gives me energy to perform. Once these become just things you're sitting on, in our type of theater, my type of theater, R means my group. India is a large country, I can't talk for the country, but some of the groups which are like-minded, we share similar views of theater. A lot of energy comes from what you are and where you're sitting. And I think all of us are theatrical in life, so if we exchange each other's theater, maybe that's a more beautiful story to tell. There's so many stories. You have so many stories.
And I have one question. Which public would be challenging for you?
Outside the country, definitely Africa. Very demanding theater audience. Very innately musical. Absolutely rhythmic. A lot of Southeast Asia. Vietnam has gone through so much. You have to really go through a lot in stage to say, for them to be convinced, yes, I've gone through a lot, and you're equipped to say, otherwise, don't do this. So a lot of it is a lot of shared energy. You need to be an extra careful performer in Vietnam. Careful is the wrong word, but extra alert performer. A lot of it in Africa. And I find it tough to perform for displaced communities. I'm going to Sri Lanka on Monday.
If the volcano would start.
If the volcano doesn't start. And I think it'll be really tough because they've just gone through a war and they are in no mood to see theater. They're just in no mood to see theater. What do you do with these guys? Not doing, not a solution. Because there are too many stories waiting to be told. Doing and being insensitive and not changing the play and just putting it on them because you've been sent by somebody to do a play is wrong. And there's a very golden middle because you're looking at a guy who's war displaced, 12,000 of them in a barbed wire camp, worse than 1936 Poland, with 2 bathrooms to offer. They're sitting and watching your play, a little pissed off and painful because it's in the evening and they've nothing much to do because they're yet to go back or officially settle back in their houses. You're watching a play and you're looking at their face and you're talking about pain and you know that he's seen far more pain than you could ever imagine in your life. And you just don't know what to do. And you're doing it. That's a constant challenge working with internally displaced people. You're just looking into the eyes. There's so much of truth in those eyes that you think that, no, what I'm saying is wrong, but I have to say. So that audience is challenging, confusing, and probably the greatest workshop teacher. Because if you survive that audience, you've survived any audience anywhere in the world.
With what piece are you going to Sri Lanka?
It's an interesting piece. We've done a Tamil version of Hamlet. Tamil, in south of India, there's a language called Tamil. And the Tamil minority in Sri Lanka has been killed, butchered, displaced by the war. So there are 12 lakh, that's 1.2 million Tamils across 18 concentration camp-like places with less than 14 bathrooms.